Hello everyone, my name is Arturo Ojeda. I study International Relations at UVM Campus Cumbres. And alongside my classmates Ángela Negrete, Yareli Arrieta, and Lucia Macias, we will explain the conflict between Russia and Ukraine and how it affects our society. First off, we're going to provide a brief description of the conflict. Russian troops invaded Ukraine on February 24, 2022. It was around midnight when Russian tanks entered the country and soldiers attacked from multiple directions. The Russian army has intensified their attacks since the beginning of this war. This conflict is already the biggest military attack between nations inside Europe in the recent era. People in Ukraine are in grave danger. There is not an official number of diseases due to the large number of misinformation, but one thing is certain and can't be denied. This conflict is causing a lot of victims and innocent people to lose their homes, belongings, and even lives, which is very unfortunate. But lives is not the only thing that is being lost in this conflict. The Ukraine invasion is getting residences, schools, hospitals, and social infrastructure to get destroyed. There's also a lot of Ukrainians escaping from their country and trying to find a place to survive. The president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, has been accused of war crimes by the international community, and most of the countries condemned his actions, including Mexico.
Let's take a quick look at Ukraine and Russia. Let's just not forget that many years ago, the countries and the divisions that were are not the same today. And part of the Ukraine history comes from the Russification, the invasion of Russia to different countries wanted to participate with Ukraine. And this being in the hands of Russia and coming with the Soviet Union, Ukraine formed part of the ideology and position. Now, 1991, this Soviet Union dissolved and Ukraine gets independence, but this created a discrepancy between the people that live there. We have this spot that is pro-Russian, pro-Soviet culture, Eurosceptic, and then we have this that is pro-West, pro-NATO, pro-Europe, liberal democracy, and anti-Russian culture. Remember that this is a geopolitical strategy for both. Russia wants to have a part. Other people in the NATO wants to have part in this, and comment on the history with the President Yanukovych and the Euromaidan movement that happened. We have rebels and heavy armed people here, and part of Russia involved in this, and Ukraine wanting to get its votes for the people, but wants the army and Russia to back down. If NATO comes in and Russia coming in and being near to Moscow, it makes a dangerous move for everybody.
Actual situation in the war between Russia and Ukraine. Russian forces take operational pause in Ukraine war. Russia might be temporarily easing its military offensive in eastern Ukraine as the Russian military attempts to reassemble its forces. Russian forces made no claim or assess territorial against in Ukraine for the first time in 130 days of war. Washington-based think tank BIS suggested that Moscow might be taking an operational pause. Russian forces will likely confine themselves to relatively small-scale offensive actions as they attempt to set conditions for more significant offensive operations and rebuild the combat power needed to attempt those ambitious undertakings. The ministry said Russian military units involved in combat in Ukraine had been given time to rest. 3 people were killed and at least 2 wounded in what appeared to be a rocket attack in a residential neighborhood of Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city. Earlier that day, a boarding school was hit in Kharkiv. No one was injured. By now, 10 cities and villages came under shelling in Donetsk, and 35 buildings were destroyed, including a school, educational college, and a hospital.
Russia still has the means to do a lot of damage and could keep on destroying Ukraine. The main goal is to stop the war. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is unlikely to be resolved on the battlefield. It's crucial to explore every option to end this war right now. By using professional help, peace mediators would help, but of course they can be imposed on Putin.